everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Sarah. I'm going to take you through a short class, one that we have done in our online community that we call joint serums. So a chance to really just focus on those key joints, our shoulders, our hips, our neck and our spine, work into them, create a little bit of movement to lubricate and ease our range of motion in those joints. So no props are required today. It's a nice, slow and steady class. If you need any help afterwards or have any questions, I'm always available to message or get in touch with via my Facebook page. So we're going to begin on our backs today. You can take a nice comfortable lying position, whatever that is for you. I personally quite like to have the knees bent, the feet out a little bit wider, so that the knees can fall in together, they can feel supported, and hands can come down by the sides of the body or to rest on the low belly. But if you prefer to lengthen the legs out here, you can do. Make any adjustments. Close the eyes. And just begin to settle into the space. As you land here, become aware of your breath. Notice the rise and fall of the chest. Maybe also the belly. Start to draw the breath a little bit deeper. Feel the belly expand on that breath in. And then begin to feel a sense of letting go as you breathe out. That sense of sinking back into the earth. Feeling supported. Just take 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here. And then from there, you're going to lengthen the legs out if they were bent. Reach the arms up and overhead. And take a full body stretch. You can circle the wrists and the ankles here a few times. And then from there, bring the hands back down, step the feet in. We're going to lift the knees just up above the hips. Again, take a few circles of the feet. You can circle or you can just point and flex. Allow those cricks and cracks and pops to happen. And then using the hands down by the sides for support, keep the low belly drawing in. You can always draw the knees a little bit closer if this feels too much on the core. Just take a few straightenings and bendings of the knees. So it may be that you only reach up a little bit, the legs don't have to be straight. We're just getting a little bit of movement through the knees. And then from there, hug the knees into the chest. Keep hold of your right knee and lengthen the left leg away. If you need to keep the left leg a little bit bent, you can do. Hug that right knee in towards the body. And take some time here just to notice how this feels into the right hip. As we hug the knee closer, we get a sense of compressing into the hip. Sometimes that can be more obvious. So if you want to bring a little bit of movement into that right leg, you can do. Draw the knee towards the shoulder and then across the body the other way. Just be aware of where you feel any tightness. See if movement can help here. We feel no need to rush on through these poses. So as you move the leg around, keep softening through the right hip crease. And then slide that left foot back up the mat. Give yourself a little bit of support and lift the right foot up to the sky. We're taking a half happy baby, so if you can, hold outside of the right foot. If that's not accessible, you can hold the ankle, the shin, your leggings, or just loop the hands behind the right thigh. Anything that allows you to draw that right knee down wide off the body. Again, focus on your breath, breathe into that right hip, and as you exhale, soften the hip crease, soften the tissue around the hip, drop the belly away from the leg. Take one more breath here. And then we will switch sides. So release the right leg. Give that a moment just to adjust. And then bring the left knee into the body. Again, you can leave the right leg a little bit bent if that feels sufficient, or you can straighten it away. We're drawing the left knee and thigh in close this time, being aware of any sensation. Using movement to compress different parts of the hip. This side may feel different. Always working with imbalances throughout the body. So don't ever be afraid to do something a little bit different on each side if you find one side needs stillness, one side needs movement. Maybe a variation in straightening or bending the other leg. And then from there we move into our half happy baby. Slide the right leg back in along the mat. Lift that left foot up. Again, you're aiming for the outer edge of the foot, but if the ankle, shin, or wrapping the thigh feels better, take that option. Wherever you land, draw that left knee down off the side of the left rib cage. This right knee can just drop gently open. Take a few breaths here. And then release that left foot Step the feet both down onto the mat. Take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Arms can be down by the sides, or you can cactus them here either side of the head. We're just going to windscreen wiper the knees side to side. So drop them over one way. And then in your own time, lift back up through center. Take them the other way. So these movements can be nice and slow, or you can work them with your breath using the inhale to lift and the exhale to drop to one side. If it feels nice to settle on one side for a few breaths, you can take that. Just let the legs be heavy, or you can keep them flowing. We're creating a little bit of movement and ease through the lower spine, through the outer hips. And you may find as you keep moving side to side, you get a little bit more range of movement, or you may find the movement feels a little bit easier. No hurry to move on. If you feel comfortable doing this, you can bring the head into it as well. Turn the gaze the opposite way to your knees. As you return everything to center, and then drop the opposite way. So you're completing that twist up into the neck. Whether you're using the head or not, just take a few more movements side to side. All right, next time your knees come up to center, hug them into the chest. And we're going to take your choice, a little rock and roll to sit yourself up, or you can drop to one side and push yourself up with the hands, whichever you find most comfortable. When you arrive at the top, just bend, take a cross-legged easy seat, or any seat that you find comfortable. You can always pop yourself up on a cushion or a blanket or a block. As you settle there, rest the hands down on the knees. Take a moment to connect down through the sit bones. Find that foundation, lengthen up through the spine. You can close the eyes here. So just loop the shoulders up and drop them down the back of the body. And then from there, keeping that lift and length through the spine, drop your chin down to the chest. Lengthening out through the back of the neck. Let the full weight of the head drop forward. And then we'll take some little half circles with the head from here. So with that chin to chest, take the left ear over to the left shoulder. And then moving nice and slowly, drop chin back down to chest, right ear to right shoulder. And just sway it gently side to side. Just as we did with the legs, if you want to pause at either side, you can do. If it feels that you need a little bit more lengthening through the side portion of the neck, stay there. Or if movement feels good, stay with it. Take one more side to side. And then next time the head drops down to center, stay there. And then you're going to lift the head up nice and slowly. Move into the shoulders, lift them up towards the ears and drop them down the back of the body. Nice big circles, squeeze them up, release them down the back. Hands can stay on the knees unless it feels easy to make that movement with the arms doing more. You can take those circles both ways, lifting up towards the ears and then dropping shoulders down towards the front ribs. Sometimes feels a little bit more awkward this way. Try to not tense into the movement. Try and keep it flowing even if it doesn't look or feel quite correct. We're just going for some movement. That's it. Shake them out. And then let's work into the wrists. So taking those big circular flowing movements of the wrists, a bit like a Spanish dance or something, all the way up and all the way back down. You're working the wrists, but you can let that movement flow into the arms a little bit more, into the shoulders maybe. And take the circles in both directions. So feel free to change them round. Make it more fluid. Yeah, and then next time you come back down to the earth, release the wrist, but take a nice big inhale, reaching up and overhead. As you exhale, drop yourself over to the right hand side. As you drop over, root into that opposite hip, into your left hip. Expand through that open rib cage. And then use your next inward breath to lift back up to center. Extend arms overhead. Exhale, take it over to the left. Again, inhale to lift. This time just keep it flowing with the breath. Exhale to drop over. Take it back up through center. And exhale over. Just take a few more with your breath, any speed. One more each way. Lovely, lift it back up. We're going to spin the legs round underneath us, come into your tabletop position. So for your tabletop, spread the fingers wide, index fingers pointing forward. Make sure hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Release your toes. Take a nice big breath in as you soften the belly down, lift the gaze and lift your tailbone. And then as you exhale, push the earth away, draw belly up towards the spine, drop the head and lift the spine towards the sky. So we're moving through this cat and cow. So inhale, belly drops, gaze and hips lift. That's your cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, draw front body to back, arch into that cat. And keep it flowing at your own speed. You can close the eyes here. You can tune in to how this feels through your body. Don't make the movement too rigid. If you want to rock a little forward and back, if you want to sway the hips from side to side, make it organic, make it flowing. Be aware of where through your spine, your shoulders, your neck. Just needs that awareness, that movement, that TLC. That's it. Just take one more each way. And then reset your tabletop position. We're going to take what we call glute circles. We sometimes keep these really strong. We use them to strengthen our hips, strengthen our core. Today, we're treating them a little bit more like a lubrication for the hips, nothing too structured. So you're going to take the right leg back behind you, and then your aim is to draw a big circle with that right knee up and over towards the right shoulder. So your leg is straight as it reaches behind, and it's bent as it comes round towards the shoulder. So ease into that movement. The left leg doesn't have to be too straight. You can lean into it a little to open the right hip. You're just aiming to get some movement through both hips, but particularly through that right hip at the moment. We always say when we do this to be strong, keep the arms strong, but don't worry today if they want to bend a little. Make it about the movement. You might feel that supporting leg working a little bit. So after your next circle, just ease it out. And we'll take the same on the other side. So your left leg now is reaching back nice and straight, then opening the hips, left knee circling round towards the left shoulder or arm. Take a few circles. That's it, a couple more. And then sway the hips out before walking the knees a little bit wider on your mat. Big toes stay touching, and you're going to sink the hips back into your child's pose. If they stay a little bit higher, that's okay, but ease yourself back. Move into that shape. Wiggle your way there if that helps. And then extend your arms forward along the mat. Bring the forehead down. Find softness here where you can. So obviously you're softening into the hips. Let the hips be heavy back towards the heels. But also soften through your shoulders, through your face and your jaw. As you breathe here, let go of any effort. And then bring yourself back up to all fours. All right, little bit of work for the shoulders and the arms and the spine. Keep facing down towards your mat here. We're going to work with the right arm. Now, often we try and open here, we try and spiral open the chest, we're twisting, we're opening this right arm high, and that is sort of where we're aiming for today, but without too much focus on landing there straight away. So you're going to work with this right arm and just reach it out to the side. Keep the gaze down though, so that you're not really sort of trying to open the shoulder. And then thread that right arm through just a little way underneath the body, not too far. And then again, inhale, lift it open. Exhale, thread it just through as far as feels comfortable. And just keep that movement going. More like a rocking of the body than a need to spiral open. And it might be that as you build into that movement, you feel more open through the right shoulder, through the spine, and it might be that you turn the gaze and fully open to the right. But if that doesn't feel nice, just keep it as an easy rock. Lovely. Take one or two more. And then reset your tabletop to do exactly the same on the other side. This may feel tighter to begin with, so keep the gaze down. Use that left arm just to open to the side. Thread it through a little way. Nothing more than that. Rocking motion. Open and close. Building that movement. If you feel you want to open more to the side, you can, but if you're happy keeping the gaze down, work with that. Couple more. And then reset back to your tabletop. All right, a little bit for the hips now. Step your right foot forward outside of the right hand. We're taking a lizard lunge here. So you might want to lift up onto fingertips. You might be happy on flat palms. You can always bring in some props, blocks, or a bolster to lean onto if that feels more comfortable. We're working into this right hip. We're stretching a little bit through the front of the left hip. So again, make it fluid. Move around into it. Be conscious how it feels in your right knee. There should be no strain there. Don't focus on sinking into your deepest pose. You may be quite upright, you may be leaning back here with the hips. Treat it more about the movement. That's it. And then we're going to rock it forward and back. We sometimes do this with the leg at centre. We're going to keep it just out to the side, not too wide. Make sure it's just so that the knee is quite close towards the arm or the shoulder. Use your fingertips to lift the chest. Take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, walk the fingertips back a little way and try and lift your right toes up off the floor. So you may be quite upright. This leg may be bent. It may be straight. It may change as we move through it. It's about matching it with your breath and flowing. So come forward on the inward breath. Walk it back on your outward breath. Keep it going. Lots of work happening in the hip here, but also a little bit through the knee joints, through the ankle, through the toes. Take one more. When you next come forward, just ease out of the hips a little bit so that you can bring that leg back. And then we'll do just the same on the left hand side. Left foot stepping forward outside of the left hand. Find your place. You may be a little bit higher. You may be able to walk the left foot further forward or sink and drop the right knee back. Wherever you find, move into it. It's about drawing our senses inwards, noticing how things feel, noticing where we can maybe soften, release. And then from there, we're going to rock it forward and back. Use fingertips to help you get a little bit of lift. Inhale. And then exhale, walk the hands back. Start to straighten this left leg only as far as feels comfortable. Lift the toes. And keep it flowing. Forward on the inward breath. Back on the outward breath. Couple more times. Bring yourself back to the top of the mat. Ease out of that lunge a little way. Return yourself back to tabletop position. And again, just ease to a couple of cat and cows, softening belly down on the breath in. Rounding the spine on the breath out. Okay, just sit back on your heels. We won't be here for too long, but if this is uncomfortable for you, obviously just sit in an alternative way or get yourself up on a block. Just take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Either keep the hands, the fist into the small of the back and draw your elbows open, or you may be able to straighten the arms, extend the hands away from the back of the body. Wherever you are, you can draw the shoulder heads back in space and open through the front of the body. Lovely. Release your hands. We're coming back down on the mat to finish with a twist on either side. So spin yourself round. When you arrive there, just lift the palms to the sky. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, roll yourself down to the mat. When you get there, hug the knees into the chest. And then we take a nice easy twist. So keep hold of your left knee, lengthen the right leg out. Your right hand stays on the knee, your left arm can open out to the side. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, draw that left knee over the body. So it may become just like a hover. You may be able to drop big toe down. You may feel the need to support under this left knee. If this left shoulder lifts up, try and send it back down to the earth. So it's a balance of left knee, left shoulder. They won't both reach the floor necessarily. One may be much higher. Just see where you can create a bit more weight, a little bit more twist. And if you'd like to turn the gaze to the left-hand side, you can complete that twist up into the neck. And slowly return gaze to center. If the head was turned, bring that leg back from over the body. As you arrive back, just realign hips and shoulders, lengthen through the spine before taking the other side. Right knee draws in, left leg is long. From here, you're going to use the left hand on the knee, right arm to the side to draw the knee across the body. Again, knee and shoulder, there'll be a balance between which one wants to reach the floor. So try and even out where you can. Turn the gaze to the right if that suits how it's feeling in your body. Take a few breaths here. The end of your next breath, slowly start to bring yourself back through center. Realign, hug the knees back into the chest one last time. Take a little rock. And then from there, lengthen into your Shavasana. Shavasana can be traditional corpse pose with the legs out long, the arms down by the side. Or you can bend the knees back in, finishing where we started in that supported A-frame for the legs. Wherever you choose, close the eyes down, settle into that space. Allow your body to observe and absorb the practice. You are, of course, absolutely welcome to take a longer Shavasana and stay just as you are. Or if you're ready to close your practice with me, you can begin to draw your awareness back. Start to deepen your breath. And bring some small movements back into fingers and toes. Allow that movement to spread slowly throughout the rest of the body. You may rock the head, take a full body stretch, or sway the knees side to side. And then when you feel ready, return yourself slowly to a seated position, rolling to your side first, giving yourself time to return to an upright position. When you get there, just keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Rest the hands on the knees or in the lap. Breathe deeply into the body. And then from there, take a final inhale, reaching the arms up high above the head. Bring the palms together and then draw the thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts. Take the thumbs to the lips for kind words, and then thumbs to the heart for kind actions. Thank you all for joining me for your practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.